The investor tool here is something that I just love to check out and wrap my mind around, again, psychologically, because if you are making decisions with your emotion, you are going to fail. This is going to be part 2 of Look into Bitcoin, one of my favorite resources for charts that help with decision making, psychology, fundamental and technical analysis as it relates to your trading and investing in cryptocurrency markets. In the last video, I highly suggest you go ahead and watch part 1, where we look into the stock to flow model of Bitcoin. It also gives you my reasoning for why I look to Bitcoin as an investor, even though I'm not invested in Bitcoin. Back when I got into investing, Bitcoin was what I was investing in primarily. And so I used Look into Bitcoin from the very beginning because I was a hodler of Bitcoin. But then I had some direction shifts and understood some other opportunities that I discussed in the last video. It didn't mean that this resource was not valuable for me. In fact, I continue to recognize how powerful this resource is, even as an altcoin trader. So check out that last video. This video is going to focus on another chart. So we're going to go to the charts. It's in the market cycle because as participators, the market cycle is extremely powerful. These assets and certain other assets also in traditional stock markets and other asset classes have what they call a cyclical nature to them. They have a cycle nature. Not all assets have this, but some do. Cryptocurrencies definitely do. And I explained that in that last video. Okay, another thing I like to look at is this Bitcoin investor tool. Okay, look at how just perfect that sounds. If you're investing in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, wouldn't this look like something that you would love to see? And let's check this Bitcoin investor tool out. Oh, it's just so awesome. Okay, so I want to go ahead and make my screen large. All right, here we are with our Bitcoin investor 2-year multiplier. Let's look at it, the indicator overview. The 2-year MA multiplier is a Bitcoin chart intended to be used for long-term investment tool. It highlights periods where buying or selling Bitcoin during those times would have produced outsized returns. To do this, it uses a moving average, that's the MA line, the 2-year moving average, and also a multiplication of that moving average line, 2-year moving average times 5. This is created by this guy here. He created it in 2017. And what I love about these charts is it's charts that are developed by the general public. And you can develop a chart. That's how I got into this. I was reading someone who formed a chart and directed me towards Look to Bitcoin. And thank goodness that happened, because it gave me such an insight into the confusing world of volatility, these market swings, these highs and these lows that you hear on the news all the time. And so this is some extreme clarity. As Bitcoin is adopted, it moves through market cycles. These are created by periods where market participants are overexcited, causing the price to overextend, to go high. And then periods where they are overly pessimistic, where price overcontracts and goes low into a bear market. So you have this ebb and flow between bull and bear markets. So identifying and understanding these periods can be beneficial to the long-term investor. Let's check it out, right? So if I zoom myself into this, this tool is fantastic. And it represents what people do as a mistake as they trade. Most people buy up in this zone here, where you see the red, and they sell over here in the green. It's bizarre. And if you are a beginner trader and you are just relying on news outlets or what have you, or your friends are telling you what to do, you are probably going to get the information the most about when to buy up around here. This is when most news is nuts. And then the thing is, most of the buyers here that think the price is going to go way up here end up feeling a stark reality of pain and disappointment when this euphoria phase, they call it a euphoria phase, flips its head and turns into a despair and depressive phase. And down here in the pain and the despair is when people sell. But what this tool is giving you insight on is to do the exact opposite. It says, when is a good time to buy? During the green time actually would have been a historically advantageous time to buy. And look at the time. So when this started to go green, it says December 18th, 2014 here in this model. And then all the way until, let's say, November 25th, 2015. So this green area here is the accumulation phase. It is the opportunity that the market presents to opportunistic investors, the time to invest, to accumulate, to cost average for a year of time. Back in the beginning, the prices were a lot more volatile. So the data isn't, I don't even really look back here because this is when it started. But this gives you some understanding. And over here also gives you this understanding that perhaps the best time to buy is over here, beginning in November 20th of 2018, all the way to here, May 8th, 2019. So it gives you this time. And then when to sell, okay? Up here in this red zone, this is the time where you can consider selling. And again, nothing here is financial advice. Look, if you are looking for somebody to tell you what to do, you are in the wrong place. You have to take responsibility for your own moves. You work hard for your own money. You got to do your own due diligence. And you got to do your own research. Okay? It takes time. It takes energy. It takes practice and takes time more than anything. And I get it. When I first started, I didn't have time. And if you don't have time, you can check out cryptofluency.com, my website. I have a fast track membership where in real time, I present you my exits, my entries, my trades, all of the moves I'm making, the participation, the minting events on marketplaces with a robust, diverse ecosystem of projects. If you want that information, you can join my fast track membership where I'll send that information out to the members in real time. And it's right before I do it. Now, that's not financial advice. You don't have to make the move I'm making, but at least you are aware. I wish people would have messaged me back here and done that. And there are lots of groups that do this, and they charge insane prices. Here at Crypto Fluency, we're focused on value, we're focused on education and meaning for people. The way in which we present our fast track in my submission is going to be a lot of value and knowledge for a lower cost. So you can check that out after this video. The links are in the description below. Let's get back to this chart. Are we in a time right now? The end of the chart is actually in real time. So this continues to update daily. Are we in a green zone here? I would say absolutely yes, aren't we? Are we not in a green zone? Is this line here in the bottom below this green zone? It is. So this is, according to this tool here, according to this chart, it would advise that right now is a great time to get into a position. Now, I'm not saying you need to get into Bitcoin, but there are other opportunities and other coins, other projects that are just beginning, that are just making their announcements, that are releasing their beta on mainnet, their alpha right now in real time. That's why I felt the need to express the fast track membership, because I get that we don't have the time. Not all of us have the time to dedicate hours and hours and hours and hours on multiple Discords, on multiple social media channels, and track all these projects across these many tools and charts. But do a little bit. See, if you invest your time, it is more valuable than investing your money. If you invest your time a little bit here in some of these charts, you will find out that you will start to replace perhaps some habits in your life that really aren't going to serve you, and that you actually have a lot more time to dedicate to do your own research and own due diligence than you think you might have. The investor tool here is something that I just love to check out and wrap my mind around, again, psychologically, because it's hard to make these decisions. If you are making decisions with your emotion, you are going to fail. It's not an emotional practice here. This is a strategical, technical, disciplined practice. And you need to learn how to remove your emotions out of this play. Mostly people have a enormous difficulty doing that because they're risking more money than they can afford at the given time. I know people personally that took out credit cards or loans from a bank, invested it into cryptocurrency, thinking that in a couple months, prices were going to rise. But little did they know they were getting in at the wrong time, and they were suffering a long 18, 20-month period, even longer. See, the thing is, when you invest up here incorrectly, not only does it take so long for this to happen where it goes down in the retracement, then this drop right here is called a capitulation event, where just when you think it can't get any worse, boom, prices fall off a cliff and you are in the biggest painful situation you've ever had in your life because you just went through 18 months of a bear market blunder. Why I say that is because all of the smart money investors, and this kind of piggybacks off the last part in the part 1 video, when this happens, we're not in pain. We're not in despair. We are the most excited that we've been in 18 months. This is the opportunity because you're selling here. You sell here because you bought down here. And think about this ride. This feels good. It's not painful. It's the opposite. It feels incredible when you're riding that up. And then you sell, okay, you sell and you have all this capital. Now you have less cryptocurrency, more fiat currency, dollars or whatever you have. You're patient. And then when it falls off the cliff, all that capital that you have, right? You then bring back into the market here and you repeat the process. The Bitcoin investor tool, one of my favorites. It is extremely efficient. It's very easy to understand, but it's not the only tool you want to rely on. In the next video, in part 3, we're going to look at another tool that I feel is necessary because you don't just want to rely on one tool. You don't want to rely on the stock to flow. You don't want to rely just on this investor tool. You want to at least have 3 tools. There's a fantastic book out there. It's an audio book too on YouTube, free. It's what I listened to in the very beginning, and it gave me a tremendous amount of inspiration to become a trader and an investor. The book is called Trading for a Living, and it is incredible. It's about traditional trading. It's an older book, but the values are there and they are exactly the same as it relates to the crypto world. It's a powerful tool. Also, that's just a little bit of a plug, a little bit of a nugget of value for you. When you're driving and you're stuck in traffic, and instead of being frustrated and impatient, throw on this audiobook and just allow yourself to listen to this over and over. He talks about the triple screen trading system. It's not what I'm talking about here, but I parallel that methodology into almost everything I do and how I approach trading and investing. And so, although the triple screen trading system is talking about 3 different time bands when you're looking at technical analysis, like the weekly chart, the daily chart, and the monthly chart, when I'm looking at these investor tools, I'm looking to Bitcoin, I want to make sure I have at least 3. So I think the triple screen trading system here in looking to Bitcoin investor tools and these other charts, I must validate my decisions across 3 separate charts, at least. Would it be better if I go to 4 and 5? Yes. So in the next video, I'm going to give you my number 3 most powerful tool in this massive encyclopedia of charts here. And then I'll give you a few bonus ones as well. All right. So I hope you got a few nuggets of value out of this. Again, it's something you can go ahead and deep dive into your own right. And I appreciate that some of you will do that. I hope that every single one of you watching this video will take these tools way more serious and that you take your time, because time is money. So we invest our time before we invest our money. Stay strong, stay safe, and always be prepared. We'll see you in the next video.